Hey, welcome back to Don't Run with Scissors. I'm Kelly, your favorite Jeep driving lawyer, mom of twins, four crazy rescue dogs, and a rescue cat who likes to craft in her spare time. If you're new here, go ahead and hit the like and subscribe button. It sends me a message. It boosts my serotonin and my self esteem, and I could use that. And if you are a returning friend, you already know the crazy you're in for. So grab a drink, sit on back, and let's have at it. Um, so it is the 6th of January. How are we already on the 6th day of a new year? Crazy, crazy, crazy. It has been an absolute crazy 6 days of this new year. Um, so yeah, I've already been in court. I was in court on an emergency, like it got dropped on my desk as an emergency sort of situation. It was handled. I've already met with clients. Yeah. Um, as you can tell, I'm fighting whatever it is that I fight every time the weather changes, basically, and feel like dog poo. Um, so we, yeah, it's been a whirlwind. My new assistant came in. We met on Saturday here at the office and got some game plans in, so that's pretty exciting. Um, it's going to be great. It's going to be absolutely great, and I cannot wait for all of the changes that are happening and watching my firm grow. It's mind-boggling. It's overwhelming. It's amazing. So this Saturday, Bean and I are going to the Fisher to see Six the musical. Very cool. My daughter has fallen in love with the stories of the wives of Henry VIII. I like the music. I'm willing to go. So back when they announced tickets were on sale, I bought us tickets. It was part of her Christmas birthday gift. So that's this Saturday. I'm so excited, and I hope that this is manageable. God forbid. Also, we're having some difficulty with my health insurance, so hopefully I'll have my nerve ablation on my lower back this Friday. Otherwise, it's going to have to wait till February, and I really hope it doesn't. I don't have to wait till February because my back is not gonna I'm gonna be yeah. Um, and then the following weekend, Noel and I are meeting back here at the office to take care of moving some furniture and things like that, and really finally hanging up some of the artwork that needs to go up on the walls and polishing the office and how it looks. So I'm super super excited. Like I said, I'm a little bit overwhelmed, but overall it's been really good. We also have a game plan on some of the things at the house um, with the kids and I. So yeah, so in this last since I saw you last, um, we did 12 by 12 on New Year's, and I was doing colors. And I hit 7 out of the 12 colors, and that's fine. I slept in that day, which clearly my body needed, and um, just took the day kind of casually. My son did have to work that day. Um, we had some things go on. I worked that morning, the morning, and actually well into the afternoon, which is kind of what set me back on hitting all of those things. And then it was kind of like whatever. But then we zoomed, the group and I zoomed, and that was fantastic because we were all laughing and just I am so blessed that I have such an amazing group of friends, both in person and long distance. Like I am so lucky, and I never want to lose sight of that, um, and feel or come across as I'm not grateful for that. Um, and I have the types of friends who will blow me up and cheer and with joy when I say, hey, this is my goal. And yet there are good enough friends who will say, let's break that down a little bit. And so that's been really, it's a good thing. Like we all need and deserve cheerleaders in our lives for goals and ambitions and dreams. And we also need those friends who, while we're growing our wings, keep our feet secure. So if you don't have that kind of friendship with somebody, um, maybe make that your goal to build your network of friends. I don't know. Yeah. And if there's a goal that you have this year that I can help, like, be your cheerleader, let me know. Like, I'd like to think I'm a pretty girl, hype girl. I mean, I don't have pom poms or anything, because that would be really weird and would be probably not good for my body at this age. But I'm I'm a loud person when I want to be, and I will cheer for anything, really and truly. Like, listen, if you're excited because you woke up this morning and you got a fresh cup of coffee and that's your big accomplishment, I'm gonna be like, woo, let's go, let's drink coffee. You can do the hard things, like, okay. And I will hook you up with some friends who will also cheer about your cup of coffee. And we will be totally psyched about your cup of coffee if that's what you need. Just let us know. So, um, I have just kind of rolled in my 12 by 12s that I did work, the pieces that I did work on. Surprisingly enough, they weren't really the pieces in my brain that I thought that I was going to work on. And are we surprised that Kelly didn't follow her plan in her head? No, no, we're not. So, um, William, my son, also burned his hand at work, so I have had a busy morning. Poor Bean's going to have to Uber home from campus because I have to race William to U of M in Ann Arbor to the burn clinic. So this is going to be kind of a fast and dirty recording, and that's fine. So let's start with Hall. My pet, I think I showed this to you guys before. 100 Hearts. I fell in love with this when I first saw it, like, really and truly. And they actually put a locket here instead of this little pink heart. Hang on one second. Hold, please. Okay. I fell in love with that when I saw it. And when I saw it, instead of this little pink heart there, they actually put a little gold heart locket. So, um, a bunch of us are starting this in February, I believe. I know Tammy is doing it, Kim is doing it, B is doing it, and I forget who else is doing it. But I fell in love with it. And it says, 100 hearts would be too few to carry all my love for you. It's so funny that I'm getting into Valentine's Eve sort of things because we all know how I feel about Valentine's Day, and so it's neat to see that changing. It does call from some weeks dye works. I'm gonna pull from Stash and probably DMC. I'm not gonna order a special. So I'm super excited about that. And then I had a package come in. I won a prize from Denise at Black Ribbon Stitch Studio. I love Denise. So I get excited when I, like, so yeah. So we have Balala from It's So Emma. We have, um, it's got, you stitch, the little blue's got little starflakes. Starflakes. It's got starflakes, y'all. Snowflakes on it. Um, I love that gingerbread. He's so, like, weirdly shaped. I don't know. He just makes me laugh. Love it. Spring. And this. I love the house. I love the fact that there's a teacup sitting on top of the house. Like, only in a Stitcher's world does that make sense. Only in the craft world does that make sense. So we got all that. That is, I think, all my haul. So let's get into what I stitched. Because we've got a new start. We've actually got 2 new starts. I know. Well, no, I think the one I did show you last week. Because well, I wouldn't have because I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know why you guys are surprised. Okay, so in here is my Mirabilia, Lady Justice. I love her. I love her so much. I am stitching her on a piece of 32 count even weave from Picture This Plus in the color Heroic. I am doing a conversion on her. So I did work on her on New Year's Eve. Oh, she's so beautiful and blingy. Oh, she's gorgeous. Um, she's so beautiful. Cannot wait to keep working on her. I don't think this is one of my pieces that I keep next to me, so I try to work on. I have like 3-ish projects that I keep in rotation. Lady Justice has been one for the last bit. Okay. This was actually started on my 12 by 12 of last year, 2023, like going into 2024. And I've worked on quite a few ornaments, and I found it because I had misplaced it, and I found it. So I am now working on the Snow Miser. So I did pull him out on New Year's Eve and work on him. I restarted it, so we're just gonna ignore this. Also on there is Coulter and Clementine and my little donkey that I need to FFO. I should have enough fabric on here to also do the heat miser so that they kind of all coordinate. Don't look at my bag. I don't know when I'll pull that one out again, and that's fine. So in here is my menorah from Satsuma Street called Peace and Light. It's so pretty. It's so pretty. I am stitching this on Be Stitch Me, color Aquarius, in an 28 count opal linen. Brady's fabrics are delicious. They are so yummy to work with. So that's where we are now that the 8 days of Hanukkah are left off, have left us. I think I'm still going to keep it out. I think it's going to stay in my whip rotation until it's done, just because it's hung around for a while, and I really like it, and yeah, it is my rotation. You'll notice, and you'll see why, has paused for kind of a bit. I Yesterday I was really feeling like the dog, something the dog like dragged in from the yard after hunting it down, and then probably half eating it and then throwing it back up. That's how I felt. I know that's a visual. But I had also dealt with my mother, and my mother and I went toe to toe yesterday. And I think my body just sort of was like, okay, we've had it. We can't keep fighting off whatever germ we've been trying to fight now that you've done this, now that you've had to endure that. So yesterday was just, I didn't get a ton of stitching done, but I did get some done, and that's okay. Oh, we'll talk about this in a second. Excuse all the little bags opening and closing. That's just the way my life works. Okay, so in here is my 4th of July rules by Primrose Cottage Stitches. I'm almost done, y'all. I'm so close. I did work on this on New Year's Eve. Oops. I wish that I had had my fabric cut a little bit longer, because it ends there, but there's a bonus pattern in here. I don't know if I can show you the... Here, we'll do this. Okay. So that's the Old Glory is the bonus piece, and I think I would have tried to center it and stitch it at the very bottom, but I will not have enough room. There's no way. I mean, look, I will work with a small border. We all know that. Look at G Van Gogh, but come on now. Reality. Okay, so I am finally down to this last section. I'm stitching this on some sort of taupe fabric. Like I said last time, I think it's a Zweigart. I don't know. I think it's a 32 count. I don't know for sure. But I got the little white scallop done. I fudged the one linen thread um, in the letters. I don't think you really. I don't think it's gonna bother anything. And then I got this done as well. I know it's not terribly exciting, um, as far as my progress, but it is progress. And on my channel, we get excited about any progress is good progress, um, even if it's backwards. Sometimes going backwards is the best project progress you can make. Um, so my hope is, in a perfect world, this will be complete when I come to you next time. But let's admit this is not a perfect world. So um, maybe if we can get the stars across the top done, I don't know. Tonight, like I said, I have to take my son to U of M, and then he's got band practice tonight that I'll have to sit through. So I will be stitching on. I'm going to take my stitching with me. This is one of the projects I figure I'll work on, and this is the other, and I'll show you that in a second. So the other thing, I feel like I think I showed you this because I started this on New Year's Eve, and so I think it's part of my whip parade. I have not worked on it since 12 by 12, um, and that's okay. Am I going to work on this a whole lot more? That is my intention. I love this pattern. This is the day by Plum Rose Sam Plum. Why do I do that? Plum Street Samplers. This is the day. I've loved this since it came out at market. I am stitching this on a Bee Stitch Me. I just need to just invest in finally saying, okay, I'm going to do her Fabric of the Month Club, and just because I stitch on a lot of her fabric. But it is a 16 count Ada in the colorway Hot Cocoa. So it's kind of a brown, but it's got a nice pink undertone, and a little bit of gray and gray in there. I mean that's kind of pretty true to color, believe it or not. This is on my agenda to work on, but you'll see in a second. Okay, so um, I have been watching the Avengers series. There's a whole lot of those movies. A whole lot. A whole lot. I am now watching Hawkeye. And they mentioned it before about how he's deaf or hard of hearing and his hearing is going. And in this movie, he's wearing hearing aids. And I think his son is hard of hearing or deaf. And so it's interesting. And there's another actor who's deaf in this movie. So we're watching that, and part of the reason is the Avengers series is one of Noel's favorite. And so him and I have been talking, and it's funny, we were talking about how our families always give gifts, like little handmade gifts or something small, when the three kings come, the three wise men come. It's a big deal. Um, I grew up having that. I know I've talked about that in years past. And we've always, in my house, since having kids, it's always been something, we try to do something, it's always small. It's never a huge gift. It's never something like over the top. It's something small. And it's generally something that's handmade. One year the kids have gotten like hand knit hats and scarves. Like it's never something ginormous. That's not the day they're getting the Barbie dream house. Although my kids have never had a Barbie dream house. Um, we did have, what was the superhero characters that William collected superheroes, but they were like Billy Blaze, the firefighter kind of thing, and we had they had a freaking freight like cargo carrier for the water. We had that, and we had their headquarters, um, and we also had Diego, Dora's cousin's treehouse. Yeah, it was great fun, great fun. Actually, I do kind of miss those days. So this is by Good Morning Maui, and I have been frantically working on this. I had hoped my plan was to have it done for the Feast of the Three Kings, but that's today, and it's not done. Is it over halfway done? It actually is. Thor here is the middle. He's the middle. There's three other characters on this side, of which we've started, which is Black Widow, Spider-Man, and the Hulk are left. Um, so um, I hope to have this done for Noel for that. That's not going to happen. Um, and then Chinese New Year, my family started celebrating this years ago. I think I've told this story when we found out I had to have. I think I just had the second brain surgery, and we figured out that I was going to need a third or something. And then my friend Jim, his wife, was in the ICU, and they weren't expecting her to pull through. Well, clearly, she's another Kelly. So Kelly and we're doing great. Um, but we've always used Chinese New Year's, which is this year, which I believe now is Lunar New Year. Is it the same? Can somebody confirm that? Like, I don't want to be offensive when I say a name of something. Um, but so we celebrate. We always have like dumplings, and we order takeout from our favorite Chinese place and stuff and chill out. And it's just sort of a chance to go, okay, we're into the new year. Do we need to adjust anything? Or do we need to total start over? And um, I don't know. We're definitely taking the deep breath on the 26th. So my goal, I see Noel on the 18th here at the office, and I'm thinking that we'll be done, and maybe because I've got a separate little office over here where his desk is going to be, and so maybe he can just hang, we'll make that our Avengers room. I don't know, but it's been fun watching the Avengers and stuff. So that's where we're at. So we have Hawkeye, Captain America, Iron Man, who's my favorite. I absolutely adore Iron Man, and Thor. Black Widow will come in, then the Hulk, then Spider-Man. Now the pattern does say underneath Avengers Assemble, and I haven't decided if I'm going to stitch that part. I'm kind of thinking yes. So I'm stitching this on a random piece of linen that I got in a grab bag when I was at StitchCon at Keepsakes. Um, I have no idea who it's by. I have no idea the color, and I can't tell you the count. Sorry, but it's got a purpley kind of tint to it, but it's almost like like a light denim blue with a purple undertone. It's working out perfect. I do think I'd have enough space to do Avengers Assemble and still be able to. The other thing is, I'm like, do I frame it or do I turn it into a little pillow or like a long pillow? And I think I've decided I'm going to frame it for him. So he does not know that that's coming, and I'm super excited. But that will be finish number 2 for the year. And you say finish number 2, Kelly? What else have you finished already? It's only 6 days into the year, and my answer is, well, wouldn't you like to see? And the other answer to that is, let me show you because it's sitting right here, and that would be. So I did my watch is. Okay. Um, I did a blessing sampler. And remember, we were picking between that and This Is the Day. And we decided that I was going to do this because it wouldn't stress me out. And it didn't stress me out. And I'm grateful because I did make one change to it. I used a scrap piece of fabric from another project because part of my thought was if I could use what I already have at home and be frugal, that maybe it would add to, like, I don't know, add to my wealth. I don't know, like it would transfer what I have, like, just sitting around into money. I don't know. Sometimes I overthink things, and sometimes I just want to use up the shit that's laying around my house. So take it for what it's worth. Okay, so I did end up making a change. The color that I used, um, I got in a card from Janet, um, and it worked out perfect. Like I literally just had, I had a little bit left over, not much, so it worked out perfect that way. I did make one change, and I think I'm going to go back and fix it a little bit. And let me show you what I'm talking about first of all, and then we'll talk about this a little bit more. Okay, I love it, and I love the fact that because reading, writing, stitching, I'm like, oh, okay. Like, I put my family's name there, and it is because it's my blessing sampler, and I just thought that fit. But I winged it that night, and I think I'm going to go back, and I don't mind where the is, but I think I'm going to drop Regal. I'm going to rip out Regal Green and Family. I'm going to bump Regal Green over this way a little bit so that the end doesn't run into the flower so much, and bump it down a little bit, and then Family down as well, just so it looks a little bit more centered. Um, I absolutely love it. So then my thought is, and I think Kim and Julie and I were talking about it, is, and not to a great extent, I'm going to finish it in a little frame, or maybe a flat finish. I don't know, one or the other. But on my wall each year, I'm also going to I'll do another blessing sampler, and then I'll build a collage of my word or phrase of the year. So that I also want to stitch my phrase of the year to go up on the wall. But in an effort of, I'm getting rid of stuff that I don't need anymore, and I will never stitch this pattern again because I don't generally stitch patterns more than once. But I would like to share the blessing. So if you would like the Little House Needleworks Schoolgirl Lessons pattern, please type blessing. Your keyword is blessing. Please be over 18, just because otherwise it's creepy if I ask you for your address. Um, please don't use the troll monger words. Um, it's little enough where I can just stick it in a regular envelope. So if you don't like it, the idea of me folding this, don't enter, because I'm literally going to stick it probably in like a little invitation size envelope. So it may need to get folded. Um, just know that if it gets lost, I'll replace it with something, but it's not going to be this. It won't be a duplicate of this. Um, but my thought, I want it from Ymir at Almond M&M's, and so if we could just kind of keep passing it along, that would be really cool. I don't know. It seems cool to me in my brain. Um, but there's a lot of things that's going on in my brain. So that's where that is. So then that leads me up to WIPCO. And I actually have been working on my WIPCO goals. I know. It seems crazy. Um, I have most of the flosses that I need. I did a DMC conversion on Dear Soldier. So this is Stephanie's pick for this month. So I do need to put in, um, ideally, I have to work on it 10 times. I usually try to stitch at least 100 stitches each time. So figure somewhere between 500 and 1,000 stitches will go in on this. Um, I'm going to start it fairly soon just because I don't want to be rushed at the end of the month. Stephanie's other thing for me is to focus on myself for 30 minutes a week. So this is our first full week where I will be slating 30 minutes where I'm not working on the screen. It is all about me. And what I have decided is that I'm going to sit in my comfy chair or my comfy spot, and during those 30 minutes, I'm going to chill out, and I'm actually just going to work on Cheap Van Gogh. I'm either going to work on Cheap Van Gogh or I'm going to work on finishing one of the sweaters that I have that has started. That is my goal. So then my other friend Taryn, her goal was to pass off at least 50% of my chore list at home. So far I have managed to, I don't do anything with the laundry, being clean the bathroom. Um, William cooked a bit. I cooked breakfast yesterday. He made a huge breakfast. Like, I haven't made a huge breakfast like that before in a long time. I made veggie cheese omelets, breakfast sausage links, cinnamon rolls. I had hash browns. What else do we have? Sausage links, eggs, cinnamon rolls, hash browns. I feel like I'm missing something, but I don't think I am. It was ginormous. It was yummy. It was the one meal I had been craving for several days now, so that was good. So he's doing a bit of the cooking, and then we're gonna start working on um, all of the scanning and shredding that's in at the house, um, so that we can clean up the living room because that's the other part of Taryn's focus, um, is to get the living room cleared out, like cleaned up, and sort of finish those painting projects, those kinds of things, so that we can all chill out as a family and just relax. And I'm looking forward to that very much so. Um, so yeah, so that's kind of where we're at. Not very exciting. Like I feel like I've gotten a lot done. I feel like I could get more done, but at the same time, I also know that I need some downtime. um, so obviously, I don't want this sickness to get any worse, and so yeah. So with that said, that's really all I have. I'm gonna keep plugging away at my whip go goals for this month. Um, Hopefully by the time I see you next, ideally I'd have two finishes to show you. Plus, I do need to pull out my sewing machine and up to the table and work on a couple things. Um, so really, if if the world aligns well by the end of the month, my goal is 25 finishes, and they can be knitting, they can be sewing, they can be cross stitch finishes. I already have one done. I know, super exciting. Um, my goal is so if the world goes right, um, I will have 5 finishes done by the end of the month, which will be unbelievable because I'll have the blessing sampler, I will have um, the Avengers done, and then in a perfect world, I will have Bella's pillow finished, and then 2 quilts, quilted and the binding done. Um, and that's a lot. That's a lot. So I'm gonna let you go because I have to head out. I have to grab lunch and get on my way to Ann Arbor with the boy child. I have to go pick up the boy child. So remember, you are smart. You are beautiful. You are lovable. You are loved. You are strong. You are needed. And you are wanted. And most of all, you matter. So with that, if I can do anything to be your hype girl this year, let me know. It helps me reach my word of the year or my phrase of the year, which is together we can achieve more. Um, yeah, there's lots of goodness happening. So love you guys, and I will talk to you later.